Welcome to Birch Media. Today I have Dereck Owers with me. We're going to talk a little 2020 election, uh, Trump's VP choice, and then talk this election cycle. So, Dereck, tell the audience about yourself.
Dereck Owers from Victoria, Texas. 34 years old. I work in construction, supervisor for fire sprinkler install. So I get to meet all kinds of people out there on these job sites and travel all over Texas, meet people, and just holding it down. That's about it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty
It
good. So
ain't
you get
bad.
to nothing wrong with traveling, dude.
That's where the money's at.
Yes, sir. Especially nowadays. All right, man. Well, let's just get right into it. I know you have some feelings on the 2020 election. I do as well. So let's hop in at the 2020 elections. Let me have you give your feelings on that first.
Well, I was hoping it was going to stay Joe Biden for sure because that was going to be an easy path to the White House for Donald Trump. So now we're figuring out now the media's over here, loving on Kamala Harris and blowing her up.
Oh yeah, yeah. That,
So,
but we all saw that coming. So
oh yeah,
do you believe that the 2020 elections were stolen, or do you believe it's
I do think so. To be
yeah,
honest, not like like I think in certain states it was because the because the mail-in ballots and a lot of states actually changed their rules. I mean, it's you can look it up. Like people, I don't know, like the mainstream media, they don't like to admit that shit. They act like it never happened. It
yeah,
really agitates me because there is some evidence. And Trump wouldn't still be up there saying that if he didn't truly believe it too. And I mean, he would know better than anybody. I'm sure he was. They've tried to sue him over it.
oh yeah.
Uh,
They've tried over and over again to shut them up.
yeah, and I usually feel like when the media and the government and everybody is going after you the way they go after Donald Trump, you're probably striking a nerve. You're probably onto something. You know.
Yeah, dude. No doubt. I also happen to believe that something wasn't right with that election. I'll
Well,
just put it that
COVID,
way. Yeah,
COVID.
yeah, not just COVID. I actually I love politics, or I used to, just like sports, man. So I cooked a brisket that night for the election, and it was like 3 a.m. and Trump was winning all those swing states, and then they're like, well,
It got
it's
fishy,
late.
right?
Yeah, it's like it got late. It's late, so we'll be back, and we're gonna keep
I've
counting
never
in the
seen that
morning.
before.
Me either. That's where I was going. And then they popped up again. It was like 4:30 ish or 5 a.m. and complete opposite. All of a sudden, Biden was winning all these swing states, and it was just like, oh yeah, all these mail-in ballots came in, and like 100% of them are for Biden, and now Trump lost all the momentum that he had during our commercial, our extended commercial break, basically.
Yeah.
And I literally, like you said, I've never seen that before. I haven't missed an election since Bob Dole
Yeah, I've witnessed
and
them all the
Clinton.
way up as
Yeah.
well.
So yeah, I feel like something about that is fishy. And
For
what's
sure.
crazy is that I'm a libertarian, so people like me have been saying elections are rigged and stolen for decades.
Well,
No one even batted an eye.
you and that's possible, but you would have to think that for Donald Trump to beat Hillary Clinton, that had to been honest because they would have never handed it to him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder if it's all a play myself, but
Well, I don't see. Well, if Donald Trump had any which way of rigging his first election against Hillary Clinton, then he would have definitely done it again against Joe Biden.
oh yeah, no doubt that Russian collusion thing definitely proved to be all fake. Um,
I
they
think
just ran with it because it was a talking point. It was something that could scare as fear mongering. Oh no, he's friends with Russia.
yes, and oh man, and they've proven all that, and and it's funny because the real people that were doing it are the ones that are saying. And typically, I've noticed that with the media and politics, usually the people pointing the fingers are the ones that are doing it. Like, I mean, what was it? I'm pretty sure that Joe Biden is taking money from communists, from the CCP, and at least I believe he did. I mean, there's those emails, the laptop, but nobody wants to go down that. Imagine if that was Trump or Trump's son. Hunter Biden was Trump's son. Imagine what the media would do to him. That's how you know it's bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what makes me wonder if it's all a play because they put it so in your face that it's one sided. It's ridiculous. And like I said, I'm a libertarian. I'm not a Republican. I wouldn't. I'm not a Trump guy. Me and you have gone to battle on Facebook plenty of times about things I don't like about Donald Trump.
Yeah,
And
but sometimes I think you put that stuff out there too, just kind of clickbaiting people.
uh,
No,
yeah,
because I see you post things that are just it's like in a funny way, you know what I mean? Like I know, like sometimes you post something, I'm like, I know he doesn't believe that.
yeah. Sometimes I'll try to throw some gas on the fire or something
I
like
mean,
that. But
honestly, I don't have any problem with libertarian. Going back to that, what you were saying, because like I really am. I mean, even as a soldier, like it's weird when you say that and you tell people that haven't went down these rabbit holes that you're like, yeah, I was in the army and stuff, and you're like, I don't really care for the government. They're just like confused.
yeah, it's two different things. We're
I
serving the
feel like
people,
it
not the
is.
government.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're
people get
with
real
other
confused.
people too. You're not in there with the government.
No, you're in there with the next poor person,
Yeah,
in the middle class
yeah.
to poor person that is being forced to fight a war for the rich and the rich kids.
Well, that's just the job you signed up for. I mean, nobody forced anybody in there, so I
No,
don't.
100%, 100%. But it's just as I got older and I saw like, because they propaganda you when you're young, right? They make it like, man,
But I would still do it.
I would too, but at the same time, maybe not for this war on terror. Maybe
Man,
right
I
after
don't.
9/11, but
I
Iraq and all that extra stuff, I wouldn't be down for.
No, because I mean, there's always going to be dark interests in any war or anything like that. But I feel like we weren't necessarily doing the worst thing we could be. I mean, I kind of believe in the wars. Like, I do think that, like, yeah, people got
So you
wasted and
support
everything, but
Obama because Obama
no,
got us from 2 countries to 7 countries, and it sounds like you think that's the right thing to do.
no, I'm just saying like Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't
Why
disagree.
Iraq?
Oh, well, I mean, the premise that we probably went there to begin with was probably BS. And also, I have a funny experience I'll tell you about when I was on the airplane with a contractor lady from
Yeah,
KBR. It was an interesting conversation that definitely opened my eyes. What was I saying? Um, I got distracted right there.
all good, bro. You were
Um,
trying to defend the war in Iraq, which to me,
oh
Bush
yeah,
should be
so
in prison for war crimes.
Saddam and all the twisted shit that those people were doing over there. Honestly, we liberated some people. Like, there's no doubt.
Well, what was Saddam doing?
I mean, well, his sons and stuff. You ever watch the what's that movie called? They were like, dude, his son was like a serial rapist, murderer. Like,
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But I
dude,
mean, look
they
at the
were just killing.
countries now. I mean, look at Libya now. They went from having free healthcare, free school, free being taxed. I'm sorry, debt free nation to being like a slave hub. Like now it's terrible to be there.
Really, I hadn't really
Saddam
heard
Hussein was a
anything.
terrible person, but he kept the balance that was needed in the region. We went there, killed
We went
him,
took that
bombed
old.
a bunch of innocent people
Well,
based off a
people,
lie. Based
you
off a
know,
lie.
the cameras used to not be in the war zones, throughout history, and now that they are, that's what's making people. Oh no, it's easy to sit back over here and be like, no, don't do that. But like when your boots on the ground, I just feel like it's just business.
Well, that you were trained to think that, bro. I served too. That's they made it your job, and they desensitized you, and you're just there to do a job.
I will say I mean, I remember sitting in a classroom with a bunch of other soldiers, and they were just like IED class and stuff that we were just watching people get blown up, like for
Yeah,
other
that was to
soldiers and stuff.
desensitize you.
Yeah, and all it makes you hate too.
Well, yeah, well, that's like yeah. There's a bunch of
'Cause,
different angles they do, but it's all training. They trained you to feel and do
well,
that.
people,
I mean, and I'm the type where I'm open minded enough to be like, man, why are we here? Like, I love America. Afghanistan, I was like, man, I'm all aboard. They But now looking back and you start thinking 9/11, was that
I
Bin
don't know.
Laden hating America, or was that Bin Laden being a U.S. contractor again? So that one's tough
Mm,
for me now. But the
I
point
definitely
is,
have an interest in that.
yeah, we all do. Dude, we fought a war where kids were
Well, some
going,
people
and
made a lot of money, bro.
a lot
It's
of
like
people made.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
there's
that's why
always
that.
money in war.
I mean, I think to get into Vietnam, the CIA, I think they're the ones that killed Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? We should save that topic for another one. I like that topic.
Well, I mean, they declassified it. It was the U.S. government and I believe the Italian mob or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm sure they had to work together.
yeah. So yeah, that I mean, they
Our
killed. They came.
government's rogue, bro.
Well, that's where I was basically trying to go, man. I'm paid. Like I love the idea of America, no doubt. I love the idea of freedom and like when we first. I mean, obviously not slavery. I'm not cool with that at all.
But
But
you know
like
what? But you know what? Sometimes bad things have to happen for good things to happen. You know what I mean? And so that's just. I mean, they're not the first slaves, and they're probably not going to be the last. You know what I'm saying? And so
well,
it's
there's still slaves in the world today. But the point is, like, I believe in the idea of America, and what those people were trying to get accomplished, even though they were doing some really fucked up shit. I believe in everybody's created equal under God. I believe because you have to remember, dude, like pot used to be legal, opium used to be legal. Um, we had just a lot more freedom. The government was out of our lives. We didn't pay income tax. There was a lot of great things about America. Americans were actually like really libertarian up until
yeah.
the
Well,
last age.
that's because the government realized, hey, you know,
We can steal money from people.
if we keep you down and ignorant and you just live out of our hand, then I mean they're the ones that hold the leash on you. They're the ones that own you. If you can't feed yourself or survive without the government in this world, then I mean you're already a slave to invisible chains.
Yeah, I believe it's already kind of like that with money. Um,
Well, it's because
but
we've allowed it to.
yeah, a lot of that too. A lot of Starbucks, a lot of McDonald's, a lot of
Y-
movies, a lot of
Yeah,
music.
everybody can complain about it, but they don't want to stop it. Like it's like
Yeah,
somebody that does drugs.
yeah, 100%. So, how do you feel about Trump's VP selection?
Man, I really think he should have went with. I mean, I know it probably wasn't even an option, but I was thinking if he would have picked Nikki Haley, would have
Oh
been
my
nice.
gosh,
Yeah,
why?
she had a pretty good following. I think that would have helped him. Plus, I think he will do better. He needed a woman, especially now that you're in the Kamala Harris thing. Now you're dealing with dude. Look how all those people like the first couple of days were just like they already knew who they were voting for because she was black or because she's a black woman or like some people don't give a shit about policy.
Or she's
They don't.
Indian. Let's not. I mean, let's
Well,
not
who
forget
knows?
everything. Let's not forget
Yeah.
everything. You better label everything, sir. Um,
You seen those TikToks where she's out there trying to like jive with these people and stuff, and I'm like,
different
it's so
accents and everything
fake.
like that.
It's so fake. Like, who is buying this, dude? Like, you have to
Time out.
really
Time out.
hate
Let me
Donald
stop
Trump.
you. Let me stop you real quick. Just real quick. Doesn't that remind you of Drake in that whole Drake Kendrick situation? I know you probably don't follow that as much, but it was about Drake going around and having a Houston accent, Atlanta accent, a Toronto accent.
Now that you say that, I could see that. I've
Yeah.
seen little clips
So
of him for
so
sure.
Harris is basically like the Drake of the politician world. Right now she's trying to be. And you say like, how are people falling for her? Well, people have fell for. I mean, Drake was number one artist and probably still is for close to a decade now.
Some people just want what they want, man. Well,
Yeah.
I'm more like common sense. I'm like, what benefits my life? What affects my life? Like, if I need to buy a house, I need to worry about interest rates, mortgage rates. Some people out here just going through the motions and going along with what everybody else does, and that's exactly where they want you.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There's a lot of blind people, and I've even talked to people on the left that are blown away that so many people picked up on Harris
Well, look,
because even they can realize, like, dude, she's terrible. She's always been terrible. When she did the primary, she was polling at 1% to 4%, something like that. No one really ever wanted her. She was forced down our throat, and it just happens to be the same party that is claiming to be safe in democracy and that Trump will ruin
hmm
democracy. That's define democracy, which is crazy to me. I know I talked about this last night, so it's
What's
kind of like
insult?
overkill.
It's insulting, dude. It's like you really think we're that dumb? I
Well, we
mean, I know
are.
some
We
are, but
are.
I mean, I'm sitting there like I ain't buying it.
Well,
There ain't
yeah, I
nothing I
got
can.
you.
I'm just one person,
But
so
let's think about this, dude. Biden's the most racist person I can think of in politics.
absolutely.
And they ran on the idea that he was going to bring change, and Trump was the racist.
Oh, corn pop.
So, I mean, he literally fought for segregation, bro. You don't get,
No,
I
I saw the
mean,
videos. I've seen the videos where
yeah.
he's
So
talking
his
about
track
what he
record,
called black rapists. What did he call them?
super
Predators or something?
predators.
Super
Yeah.
predators.
Yeah, no,
I love
100%.
it when
And
Trump said that. He's like, he calls them super predators.
yeah, Trump is savage with it. But my point is, we are that dumb because even if they cheated, he still got a shitload of votes.
Well, dude, I don't feel like Joe Biden was ever running it to begin with. I think
Well,
you
probably
got
wasn't.
elites, just the same people that picked Kamala Harris, not the people, but the elites. These are like when they're up there and they're like corporations are taking all the money and stuff. That's these people. That's the people that these people work for. Those are the people trying to destroy Donald Trump because he's pulling the curtain back. I mean, I just feel like it's just written on the wall. And if I'm actually fooled and that's not the reality of the situation, I must be insane.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because this is something that bugged me about Trump. How do you feel he handled COVID? Because I feel like he handled COVID very poorly.
Well, it's easy to, in hindsight, to say that because, like, I mean, how would have anybody have dealt with it at the time? Whenever you know what I mean, just as much as everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he tried to handle it the best he could and trying to respect both sides.
Yeah, I
I
give
mean,
you that. He definitely gave in to the left a lot. That's my point.
well, I mean, you can't, if you're just a freaking boulder in the river, you can part it, but you can't stop dam it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You
Like,
could keep the economy open though. Keep the people's money
yes,
flow
but
coming
I
in.
felt like he let that to the states, and I feel like that's just like he did the abortion stuff, leaving it to the states. I feel like that's how the founding fathers designed this country, and
Agreed.
and the federal government needs to back up.
But I almost feel like keeping a state functioning is maybe one of the if you believe in functions of a federal government, I would believe that might be one of them to make sure a state is up and running and functioning correctly. Because
Well,
this is one of
I
my
mean,
firm beliefs is that the Democrats did that. They locked down to destroy his economy that was killing it.
oh yes, oh 100%. That's what
So
I'm saying.
he should have saw that. He should have saw that and be like, no, I'm not playing your games. We're
Look,
rocking and rolling. Like
but
mask up if you want to.
you can connect the dots though between these politicians and Fauci, and then there's records, emails, whatever that he was the one that was dealing with China on that stuff
That was my
in that
next point I
laboratory.
wanted. Was isn't he
They
the one to
they
hire Fauci?
unleashed that dude.
100%, 100%. But didn't Trump hire Fauci for that position, or was that position given to him in the cabinet?
I thought he was already in that position before Trump was president.
Okay, you could be right. I'm not 100
No, I
percent
don't
sure.
think he's not somebody that Trump brings in. I think that was his job, in the government was the head of the what do you call that? Uh, what is it? The ones that put out the guidelines and stuff.
Oh, the World Health
CD,
Organization.
yeah, or is it CD?
Oh, the CDC is ours. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. That's who that guy is.
Well, it was. Now he's getting hammered because he was
Your
a
your boy,
liar.
your boy Ron Paul had it out for that guy.
Oh, Rand, his son, yeah, Rand Paul
Oh
was.
yeah, Rand. Yeah,
Rand Paul's
he
going after him, rightfully
dude
so.
relentlessly.
Yeah, aggressive. Well, he should. He lied to us. He
No, I
said,
respected him for that.
yeah, he said don't mask. Okay, mask, double mask, vaccine boost. He was all over the place with it. Oh, it's just a cold. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. Like the dude was a scam artist.
Yes, that's how I feel. But also, that's what I'm saying. Whenever whenever these people are tied to Democrats and they're just, it always leads to something fishy. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's just people trying to make conspiracy or something. But
I think both sides, because I don't consider Trump a true Republican. I really don't know what he is. Populist, I guess, or
he's an
something.
American, bro.
Yeah, but I think the Democrats and Republicans are just as corrupt. I think Bush was one of the most corrupt presidents,
I
a
think you're right
junior
about that.
and probably senior too.
Well,
Actually,
his
now I think
dad,
about it, yeah, his
his
dad was sketchy as fucking to see and
dude,
all that.
yes. I mean, think about what deep state stuff they were doing.
Yeah, so they I think this is a plan that's been in motion for a while, and maybe Trump is that thorn that a lot of people are hoping, but for someone
I
like
mean,
me, it just gets tough to believe because of the like, man, you used to be a donor.
well,
Like, who would give money to people like this?
at least at this point, it pisses them off and has them sweating. Now those politicians got to get up and go to work,
Yeah, yeah, I can
go
see
to
that.
sell those lies.
But I definitely think Nikki Haley would have been the worst choice, and I with all respect, I
You
say
know,
that respectfully. I think she was definitely the worst choice possible. I think Ramaswamy would have been the home run.
no, I just think Nikki Haley was packing the women vote.
If you wanted to pick a woman, the better option would have been Tulsi Gabbard, hands down.
I don't mind her.
She would have been great. She's the reason, like she's literally the reason Harris started polling at freaking 2 to 1%. So you bring her back into the mix, like that'd be some WWE stuff, man. That'd have been great. And then he would have got his woman, like you said. But I think Ramaswamy would have got the youth vote, and I think that's really what Trump needs is a youth vote.
Yeah, because it's definitely those kids at the colleges that are just wanting to be weird, and it's so funny that they're uncomfortable about themselves because they're worried about basically what you think. You know what I mean? Like they're like, until everybody just accepts this, it's not okay. And
Almost
I'm
like
like,
Nazism.
yeah, dude. And I'm like, this shit ain't nobody. Just because you want to do what you want to do, like the whole thing for fight, like y'all just been over there just wanting to be some kind of social justice heroes or something. And there's nothing even to pursue that way. So I feel like they just come up with things to complain about and
Well, I kind of did. I see your point, but
like,
I kind of
go get a
disagree.
job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and I kind of see your point, but I also disagree. I think there's a lot of things we could change. Like obviously, Black Lives Matter was like a communist organization that they were all far left and acting a fool. But I believe non-violent offenders should not be locked in a cage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Marijuana is a freaking plant. Like I don't even care. Like fuck a state. Like what state can tell me what plant I can or cannot have?
No,
Like let
I
alone the
agree.
federal government.
I
So
think I think what they're scared of letting it go all the way is like they're scared that they're not going to be able to regulate it.
well, yeah, they want to make money off of it instead of letting the people benefit. Because fuck us, right?
Well, it's going to hurt big pharma.
Yeah, fuck us, right? It's not like they're rich enough.
But it sucks that you can't go and buy it buy it the way that you'd like to,
Or
without
just grow it the
being a
way
criminal or doing crime when you're not. I mean,
over a plant, over growing a plant.
to be completely honest, I've smoked for 10 years, or I mean, for more than that, but I'm probably straight at this point. And I've moved up in my job. I've gotten raises. Like, you know what I mean? It hasn't stopped nothing.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Yeah, it hasn't stopped nothing. It's the principle of the thing for me though. Like there's elected people and it's the Texas lieutenant governor. I fucking hate that dude. I really, really hate that
Who?
dude. What's his name? Dan Patrick. Yeah, Dan Patrick.
I've seen
I
his commercials. I don't know too much about him.
he's a piece of shit. He he blocked us voting to legalize marijuana and sports betting.
Well, does he work for the? I see that's the Christians.
Yeah, but let it go to a vote, bro. Just because you're Christian, I respect that you're Christian. I
Well, that
consider myself Christian as well. but you don't stop the people from voting because then that's anti-democratic, correct?
Well, it's say that last part again.
Like that'd be anti-democratic. Like you're not even letting it go to a vote. You're not letting the people have their say. You're blocking it.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
And then I'm not a huge fan of
I mean, that's
Governor
their
Abbott
job.
either.
I mean, that's their job to follow whoever put them in there.
Yeah, but it's also their job to allow it to come to a vote so everybody who is put in there by the people get a say so and feel represented. And
I think they're scared, dude. Is the problem.
scared
Like,
to make money, like the
well,
economy would boom
look
from
what
both of
happened.
those
But look what
situations.
happened in California and Colorado and stuff. Like, people flooded there. But the more states that do
They
it,
defunded the police. We have in Texas, we we got the civilians got the guns, and then we didn't defund the police
well,
besides
what are
maybe
they gonna
Austin.
what are they gonna do when they pull you over and you're smoking and driving?
The same thing they would do now. You probably get DWI, and it probably be. I mean, you probably get DWI instead of a DWI, and then
But they
possession
can't
of
give you a
whatever. And
breathalyzer.
yes, they can.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
I mean, I've never personally seen it, but I've done the research. I believe the Canadians came up with one as a
Well,
breathalyzer for
how would
THC.
you? But how would you even know how to regulate yourself to smoke only to a certain, you know,
They would probably
percentage of?
say, "Don't smoke and drive within 8 hours" or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't care about that part of it. Let's just get the shit legalized, and then we can, dot the T's or dot the I's and cross the T's. But
It'll
uh,
happen, dude. It needs to happen federally. I think that's what'll push it over.
it will never
You would
happen
think you
federally
would
unless
see, and
Democrats
what
win.
surprises me is why, dude. If they wanted to win, if they said that, I'm like, they got it. I mean, like if they
Yeah,
if
that's what makes it weird that no one has.
that's what
It's
I'm saying. It's crazy.
That's
Like
another
why?
question about Trump I have, man. How come he doesn't call out a lot of bullshit of corporations like the ones that are poisoning us, for instance, like JFK, or not JFK, but RFK is bringing up. Trump never mentions in that. Um, he did give us the farm bill, which gave us CBD, but he didn't go all the way to get us THC. Um,
I mean, you got to baby steps, you know.
hey, he was going to drain that swamp and do his thing. I
Where
thought, man, that's what I was
where,
waiting on.
where are you living at in Austin,
But no, New Braunfels.
New Brussels? I'm actually about to be down there, working for probably like a year
Oh,
on
nice,
and
dude.
off. They're
It's
like
a
they get a
nice
big
place,
old.
dude. It's like we're growing fast. It's like mini Austin. There's going to be, but we're still conservative leaning, so the taxes are lower.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the Democrats don't understand though. The more that you don't tax people to death, the more money gets generated, the more people can make and more people can have.
Well, taxation's theft.
Absolutely.
There should be no taxes. In the state of Texas is fucked because all the tax burden falls on the homeowner because
Well,
there's
we
no
had.
income tax. So that's why we have such high property taxes to make up for it. I mean, they're not slick. They're coming up the same amount of money.
I mean, I bought my house like 5 years ago, and I sold it probably I don't know 7 8 months ago, and I made like 40,000 on what I paid.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I was like that worked out.
Well, that's definitely my goal. Hopefully, about 5 to 10 years, something like that will happen. But we'll see. Because I want to get some land up here in the hill country, man. It's beautiful. Tired of this HOA shit.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, my dad tried to warn me. I didn't listen. Like most sons and fathers.
Well, I tend to learn things the hard way.
Yeah, me as well. Me as well, man. So let's hop on election night. What do you see happening? What's your prediction, man? I know you're a
Mm,
little biased. I know
I'm
my man's a
scared.
mega. You're scared.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I just, dude. To be honest, anybody I've ever voted for since I was able to vote, like if I vote for them, they won't win. The time
You
that
didn't vote
Trump
for
won,
Trump in 16?
no, like, I wasn't able to make it home to vote that time, and he won. And I'm thinking, like, man, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe you should go vote Harris.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, if you're bad luck, you're
I'd
bad luck,
sooner,
bud.
dude, that's voting for 4 more years like we've had, dude. I'm telling you, I'm as a person that I mean, I'm out here making money and paying bills. It's I've noticed a difference. I mean, look at your car insurance.
Yeah, house insurance as well. Yeah, I got 3 kiddos and 3 dogs, man.
And so
Grocery
you
bills are intense, to
and
say the
so
least.
I want everybody to remember back to how it was before COVID. And then I just don't understand how you could ever vote for the other guy.
I
You
think that's
know,
a fair point. A lot of people like to forget, and I didn't because I was in the stock market, killing it. I mean, killing it. I've never. Well, then again, I never really was in the stock market before, so I don't have anything else to go off of. But Trump's economy, stock market
that's
pre-COVID was stupid.
that's what he's got going for him.
Yeah,
So,
because people like me and you were making a lot of money off the stock market. It wasn't just the elites. If you
bro,
had
I had
half a
such a good deal
brain,
on my truck, and it was
yeah,
just a good time financially, for sure.
no, 100%, bro, 100%.
I'm
So,
ready to go
but
back
you're
to that
nervous, so you think Harris might pull it off?
because the media, because the people they just can't think for themselves.
Yeah, it is. It is wild how the media has jumped on board just right away, and there's no questioning about a convention or anything like that. It's just like, oh yeah, we stand with her. She's great, even though her record sucks. Even though no one voted for her in the primaries that she actually did run in, but she's great and she's going to save democracy.
There's
Uh,
no way.
oh no, but I'm like you. I'm more worried now because I uh, I thought it was a layup with Joe Biden.
Oh, dude, we were about to take him to the bank.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
they knew
layup with
it
Joe
too.
Biden. Well, yeah,
They
that's
knew
why
it.
they did the early debate
But
on purpose. There was
but
never a debate in June ever. They did on purpose to get him out, and they did exactly what they wanted to do. They got him out with not a lot
if
of
you think
time
about it,
for
they did
Harris
kind
to
of
get
play
kicked out.
Trump because he was wanting that debate.
Oh yeah. Well, what kills me is they act like Trump is scared to debate Harris, even though like he already debated Biden on CNN. So he already
Yeah,
went to the liberal side and debated. Now Harris wants to do ABC,
they're
another
just
another
digging.
liberal site, and it's like, well, how about we come to Fox? How about it's our turn now? And then somehow Trump is scared. It blows my mind how the media thinks that, like you said, that we're just all dumb and we don't look for things at ourselves or for ourselves. And
Yeah, all they
but
got is just getting these people to hate him.
I
That's
will
all they
say
have.
this: I don't think she pulls it off unless it's a cheat. I mean, I watched her first rally or whatever you want to call it, and she literally copied one of Trump's promises, and people started leaving the rally shortly after that because they're like, "That's the only promise you're going to say," and it's one of Trump's that he said a week ago. And like it was the most, it was intense, dude. Like that's the best that you could come up with. I think it was the no tax on tips, which is a great idea, by the way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
Put some money in the pocket. Like, I mean, if people have money, they spend money. That I mean, and that's what they want, right? They
yeah,
want people to spend money. So like,
that's what
come
keeps the
on with
economy
it.
flowing.
Yeah,
So,
let's roll it out. It just seems so simple for people to foul it up. Some people just, I guess, I don't know if they're born into money or what. They just don't have to worry about that, and they just vote on their feelings.
I think the more rich people probably vote conservative. They don't
Oh,
want the
absolutely,
inheritance tax and everything like that to go well. That's the last thing they want.
dude. We just want. It just sounds like everybody just wants the government to leave everybody alone.
And at the end of the day, I think that is what everybody truly wants. It's the government just to let them live their lives as long as they don't harm anybody else. Like don't go around being a pedophile, don't go around raping, don't go around killing, robbing, and you're good. You're golden. Like I
Um,
don't know.
what do you think about that? Harris's VP pick.
I haven't done my own research, but I have read that he's pretty radical.
That's
He's
what I've seen. The people of that state don't like him.
but like I said, I think Harris, man, there's a reason they hit her for 4 years. It's not because she's a superstar.
Dude, and that's the thing is, you want to go back like 3 months ago when the news is like talking about her poll numbers, like in the dumps. They're like, that'll never happen. And then one overnight, they're like, oh yeah, she's the best. Like y'all forgot or something.
Well,
It
sometimes I
freaks
wonder if
me
it's a
out, kind
test,
of.
man. Sometimes I wonder if this is like a group test, IQ test, like the Joe Biden thing. I was convinced that's what that was. And I told everybody, I was like, dude, if we're gonna vote for him for change, and he's the most racist son of a bitch alive, or in politics probably, they got us. You know what I mean? And I, even though I do feel like the ballots at 3 a.m. were pretty suspect,
It was
he
weird,
still,
dude.
yeah, he still got a lot of votes regardless. And to convince millions of people that he's not a
Well,
racist and
you
that
know
he's
what's
going to bring
fishy?
change is crazy.
You know what's fishy is that they said that this guy Joe Biden got the most votes ever
Yeah, he got more than
out of
Obama. He broke
anyone.
Obama's record, and so
There's no,
did so did Trump. If you look
there's
it
no.
up, Trump had more votes than Obama as well. Like they both
I'm
did.
telling you,
So how
Trump
is that
won that.
possible?
Exactly,
How's that possible?
exactly, exactly.
But
It's just
I,
like the UFO stuff. They're just like, I think there's something going on. I don't, it might not be extraterrestrials or something, but
I don't think it
you know what I
is. I
mean?
think it's
But look
us.
how but that just shows you how the government handles that business. So it's like, you don't think they're doing that with everything. I mean, the media and everything, like that, they're the big puppet master.
Yeah, bro. I think the UFOs are us, Russia,
Not that you
China.
take a wide turn. I'm just saying, like you've seen a lot lately on the news, and people in Washington talking about it.
Yeah. I don't want to dive into it, but I'll have
Yeah.
you look up Operation Bluebeam, and I think that might explain why it's being put in our faces a lot more. Just leave it at that.
I thought you were gonna say like Blue Book or something.
No, Blue Beam, man. I think it was either late '80s or early '90s. Someone wrote a book about it, and I think he was like on the end, and he was like, "Watch out for this," and a lot of things that fell in place. It's pretty weird, but yeah. So do you think like so? If you had to guess, there's a gun to your head, who's winning?
I'm just gonna have to say Trump because I think the media is lying about the poll numbers and stuff.
They did in 2016, or Hillary been president.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, and she was like, what am I trying to say? I guess maybe like she's already hit her peak, so to speak. Like everybody was real excited for the first week or two, like hell yeah. But you can see the energy's already calmed down. So one good debate, Trump smashes her, it's over. And what's crazy
that's
is
what I'm thinking. Honestly,
RFK, dude.
honestly,
RFK has a good shot against Trump if you look at the poll numbers. And it's like y'all just do that man to the side. Didn't
well,
even
the
let him.
Democrats did that to him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they have a long history doing that. They screwed Bernie Sanders over, and Bernie got a beach house afterwards. Um,
It just shows you that the people aren't speaking on that side.
well,
You
the
know what I'm?
Republicans are just as guilty, man. I remember Ron Paul and then the 40B rule. Again, we talked about this last night, but um, they literally changed the rule mid convention. You can look the YouTube video up with all the Texans like throwing their cowboy hats off, pissed off because they're like, "What the fuck? How are you changing the rules now?" That's actually how Trump won in 2016 because if you remember, the GOP didn't want to let him win, so they were trying to force Ted Cruz to stick it out and pull it out somehow. And Trump pulled out the 40B rule that they did to Ron Paul, and he was able to force Ted Cruz to drop out because of that. So both sides are just as guilty of not wanting change, if that makes sense. They don't want their party infiltrated. They like the status quo. They like going
Well,
back and
I
forth.
think that's human nature though. Like even for us, all we want is just stuff to be cheaper and good money flow and just live our lives.
Yeah.
So as long as everybody's getting a piece of the pie, I mean that's
What's your
what it's
thoughts on
about.
trickle down economics?
What if I think I don't know. I think that's I think that's kind of how it works. That's how I see money.
Yeah. Well, I know that's kind of like what Trump was doing with the tax cuts. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's for the rich," but I mean, and they definitely got their cuts of it before we
Yes,
saw ours.
yes,
So there's no doubt
but
about that. There
but
should
if you
be
think about
something.
it, everybody got paid.
Yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot more jobs. Looking back, it was easier getting money. You could hop in the stock market for a week, hop out, and then you made, depending on what it was, hundreds or thousands of dollars. And it was like that the whole time until COVID. And then even during COVID, I remember I still had
Look at the
like
unemployment.
Tesla
Look
and
at the
Apple.
unemployment numbers.
Yeah, the unemployment numbers were great under Trump. Um,
The black was at all time high.
all time low.
I mean, all time low. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it was.
I just meant like they're just everybody was working, dude, and
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
you
That's
had
good. So then
options.
people get off. They get off the like. It's like the Democrats want people to be on government assistance. You know what I mean?
It's not like they definitely do. That's why they implement it. So, excuse me. No, that was a dang good way to, and I believe they did like a beta test on it before they did it to everybody. I think they did to the black community first. I think that's what a lot of the funneling in the cocaine and teaching people how to make crack, and then coming up with the
Oh yeah, they probably definitely did that.
no, there's no problem. They did, and then they changed the laws of crack cocaine and regular cocaine.
Well, they're breaking
Then
up at homes.
yeah,
What do
well,
they call
yeah.
that?
Then they did the crime bill after that, and they knew to stay in the ghetto and break up the poor families, minorities, a lot of them. And then they put the mom on welfare and gave her a taste of just having a check just because she's single. And for a lot of women, sadly, that they were happy with that.
Well, that happens no matter what color you are now. You know.
Well, yeah, now that's what I'm saying. I believe there was a beta test for it to see how successful it would be before they went all out. I think that happens a lot, unfortunately, to the black community that people don't talk about. We can do the
Well,
examples of like the shots.
some of that's their culture too, but I mean it's everybody.
Well, it's the U.S. government. The examples I'm talking about is U.S. government. They were shooting up
Well,
shots and everything. I mean, just straight guinea pigs,
when you
and
have
without being
father
told.
when you have fatherless children, I mean it's easy for a lot of them to go astray.
Well, yeah, there's no structure. That's, I mean, look at the Bible. I know you're not a
I
hardcore
mean,
Christian, but
my dad was in and out of prison, you know, so
yeah,
I mean, I didn't have to be black to understand that how
no.
that system works. You know what I'm saying? It
Well, I'm not saying it's just a black thing. I believe it's more like a class thing. I believe it's a lower class. It's where you live.
well, you know, I don't feel like my grandparents and stuff raised my dad to be that way or anything. It's just choices he made. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, everybody's
he did
different.
it to himself.
Like,
I
yeah,
mean, nobody told him to act that way. I mean, that's life is full of choices, and it's just like voting for Donald Trump. Just how do you want your life to be?
yeah, yeah. The libertarian guy, uh, not so sure about him. So I might vote for cheap groceries myself. I'm not 100% sure yet because ballot access is very important, but so is cheap groceries. So it's rough out here, man.
Shit, I'm buying groceries. I know, but I'm not gonna let it keep me from eating good. So, just have to pay the extra.
Yeah, you ain't got a bunch of kids, asshole.
Well, actually, my girlfriend does.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. So I guess I've been with them about a year now.
Oh, okay, congrats.
Yeah, they're good kids. I don't mind them. It was, I mean, for not having kids, it was kind of. I mean, but I'm
It
like
was
the
a shock
oldest
to
in
you,
my
wasn't it?
a little bit, but
Yeah,
I mean, dude, they're really not that bad to be honest. So I'm kind of thankful for that. I kind of tested the waters, and I was like, it's fine.
yeah.
They have their dad and stuff, so it's not.
No, that's good. That's good. He's in their life still.
Yeah, I don't always agree with his parenting strategy, but you know,
Yeah.
it's their
Well,
business.
everybody's different. Hmm.
But my like, my father figure in my life wasn't even my blood, but it was my grandfather, and you know, he kind of did more for me than my other uh cousins and stuff, even though that was his blood. It's kind of weird, but for somebody to do that for you, it's a lot. So
No
I
doubt.
mean, through that, like being here with these kids, it's like if I can like show them something early in their life that'll keep them from making bad choices later, I'm like, that's powerful. That's change in the world.
Yeah, that's what me and Patrick were talking about yesterday, man. Starting from the ground up instead of trying to take over the Fed first. Just take over towns. You know what I mean? That's basically what you're saying, though. Like, just the little things add up.
Yeah.
So,
Set the
yeah,
trend. Whether so then maybe we'll make three more good men because it's three boys.
yeah, man, gotta roll with the momentum. That's what I always say.
It's like I'm gonna turn them into little hands. You know what I'm saying? Get them some hard hats and some boots, and let's go.
Well, if Harris wins, I would suggest find a different route. But hopefully
Dude,
Trump will win and
honestly,
he'll go back to
honestly, even
drill.
though the economy's jacked up, like material costs more, wages have gone up a little bit, but so has the cost of living. Probably not to match it,
Yeah,
but
I say not even close.
yeah. But construction's booming in Dallas.
Well, it's booming all, and well, Texas is actually doing pretty well compared to other states.
It's a lot of people moving here. I see a lot of California plates and stuff. I mean, Dallas is crazy.
Yeah,
If
try
somebody,
being New Braunfels, bro. There's a lot of them.
dude, it's like if somebody came to Dallas and like went downtown and stayed for like 3 days and left, and they're like, "Yeah, I've been to Texas." I'm like, "No, you haven't."
Yeah, well, there's just different sections, man. We should be four or five different states. To be honest with you, East Texas, South Texas, West Texas, Central Texas, North Texas. We're all different. I'm in Central Texas right now, dude. I don't drive to San Antonio enough. My boy Franco says I should, but I miss Victoria tacos, the breakfast tacos, man.
Dude, I go to Victoria once in a while. I
Oh
mean, my
yeah, I do
family's
too.
still down there,
Yeah, same here.
so
Yeah, good old Vic, man.
how's your sister?
Oh, not too bad. Living the dream in Colorado.
Looks
So
like it.
yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't have the same issues I have. That's for sure.
that's good
But
for her though. I'm glad that worked out for her.
yeah, no, she definitely needed it, man. And yeah, shout out to Caleb. Um,
Absolutely.
so you see Trump winning, but you see a nail biter. We both kind of believe the 2020 elections were fishy, to say the least.
I feel I feel better knowing that you think that the debate's going to take her out.
Well, I just look at her past in debating, and she freezes up a lot, and she's awkward. Where like she laughs at times where she shouldn't laugh and stuff like that. She's. I mean, that's what happened with her and Tulsi. Tulsi came with some actual facts, and she just straight froze and didn't respond. Really, just panicked.
Yeah, but
So Trump's
they're
going to do
gonna
his
tell her
homework.
to attack Trump.
Yeah, but Trump. The thing about Trump is like he's not the one. I mean, yeah, he's preparing for the debate, but he has people just like her. But like he gets top notch people because he gets his own, and they're going to prepare him for what to do. I think they learned their lesson from 2020 about bullying because you didn't see him really bully Biden, and he had
Yeah,
plenty of opportunity.
he could. Yeah, you're right.
So I think they told him, "Hey, man, let's hold back on the bullying and just a tad." And I think they're definitely going to tell him to do that again with Harris. And
That shit is funny. He's gonna take her to the border. Is what he's gonna do.
yeah, I think if he sticks to policy, he'll win the debate hands down because
She ain't got a leg to stand on.
none.
She's gonna go after his court stuff, and she's gonna come off aggressively. And honestly, if she says something witty 2 or 3 times, they're gonna go on CNN and be like, "Yep, she told him."
I'll be surprised if that happened. No, she 2 or 3 times is a lot for her, bro. Not trying to be disrespectful, but I kind of hate people that hold evidence and keep people in a cage longer than they should for free labor.
Oh well,
Can't.
they've all done it.
Yeah, it just tends to piss me off. I don't know. So fuck her.
I mean, I'm all for like Trump's border, like close it down.
Well, I would honestly, I didn't care about it as much in 2016, but then now you see like the Chinese and Russians and
Bro,
literal enemies of the United States crossing the border in bunches, and it's like, okay, these aren't people just coming to work. I highly doubt.
Yeah, he
maybe
just
we
don't.
should have security on the border.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, so many people got in,
Yeah,
terrorists and stuff. I
I mean, you could,
guarantee.
yeah, you saw videos of it, and that I'm sure it happened thousands of times.
Honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
We got some enemies, and the world is shooken up right now. I think that's something that helps Trump out on the vote. Is that I think people think that
the world's
if
on
he gets
fire. Yeah,
yeah, and if he gets in there, he can calm a lot of this down, and I do believe he can, because that's how we handle our business is like flex our military, and and if you have all that stuff, then you don't have to use it because nobody wants it. You know what I mean?
no, exactly. And if you remember, which I'm sure you do, being a Trump fan that you are, he was working on peace deals.
Yeah, and I think he had a good thing going with the Taliban. He was like, "I'm gonna." He did you hear him the other day? He was like, "I showed him pictures of their houses."
Yeah, yeah, and before that, I seen an interview with someone who was in on that, sit down, and he told the story before Trump did that he showed them all their homes and was like, if you kill one American, we're gonna fuck you up,
We're
basically.
gonna zap this right
Yeah,
here. It's like you can't
yeah.
even go home, dude.
So he would have got us out without being touched, probably. And it's never nothing's 100%, but probably because those people saw like, oh damn, that's my home where my kids and my wife are.
Yep.
Let's
And
chill.
that's how you handle
Yeah.
business. And you think Joe Biden's out there doing that? He don't even remember what he had for breakfast.
No, I truly don't. If there was ever, and I believe there's always been a puppet president, but if there was ever one, it was Joe Biden. The man couldn't
Honestly,
think for himself.
some of those people should probably be gone after for like elder abuse for even putting that old man out there like that.
I've said that multiple times. It's elder abuse, and I won't say you can tell, but there was rumors from the White House that they would give him like amphetamines before he goes out there and does speeches. I'm guessing Adderall or something like that. And
I've
you
seen.
could,
Look at him; he's gleaming on some of them videos.
well, not just that, like he goes from like not being able to say a fucking thing, and then the next
Yeah,
day he's speaking half-ass clearly, and he's making sense. It's
it's crazy.
like wait a minute, bro.
It's Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and some of them others. They're the ones back there pulling the strings, dude.
I hate
Obama,
to sound. I'm about to say I hate to sound conspiracy theorist like, but I believe it's Obama on account of
absolutely.
this. Uh, he backed Harris in 2019. A lot of people don't know that he actually backed her, and she was polling well until Tulsi Gabbard. So the fact that he was able to get his VP to win, convince him to get Harris as the VP, which is who he wanted, and then conveniently there's no voter primary, and now Harris is in, and he's already endorsed her.
Yeah. If I
It's
was a
like, man,
If I was a Democratic voter, I'd be pissed. A Democratic voter,
well, all of us should be pissed because it's not right.
Well,
But you're right.
yes.
But you're right. The Democrats should feel very represented at
They're
the
like,
moment.
they don't even ask you; they tell you who to follow. And Trump's the Nazi.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, the deflection is real. When you bring up the racism thing, you look at Joe Biden, you look at Trump, you're
Dude,
like, well,
Trump's done a lot for a lot of different kinds of people. Like I
yeah.
mean,
He has some
and
cases against him, but it's like five people, and he's employed how many people?
nowadays
So
you're almost labeled racist almost for being white. I feel like these days, a white male. It's a bad day to be one. It's everything's our fault if you listen to it, all the rhetoric from the left,
I think
and
it
it's
depends on who you listen to, but I definitely have heard a few different people have that type of rhetoric. Yeah, but
and it's
no,
it's fine, but the thing is the way people feel and the way people think, like everybody does that. It doesn't matter what color you are, like it's human nature, like your culture kind of sways how you think, like how you're raised and stuff, and it's these kids they didn't get raised by their parents. I feel like they got raised by the public school system, and these colleges with these professors that are liberal and created this whole mess. Going on a
so
tangent there.
do you believe in the theory that the
But the communists
Russian,
did this.
yeah, the Russian commies did
Absolutely,
this?
they did this. Absolutely,
Well, it is
they
eerie
play
that
the long game, bro.
Dude, it's eerie because if you listen to some dude, Joe Rogan had it on his show from like the fucking 50s or 60s, and he was like, "This is our checklist." And then if you look on that checklist, it's like damn near done. It's like, oh fuck, like someone actually said this decades ago. Like this was what they're going to do, and they did it. I
Yep.
wish I could cite it and remember it, but
Probably
uh,
like KGB handbook.
yeah. Well, I mean, he was definitely a KGB member, but it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
The
Big,
Russians and the Chinese are doing it.
well, China's known to play the long game, and I think they might have taught Russia to play the long game as well and not be so aggressive. And we've been flexing our muscles since the end of the Cold War everywhere, just wasting money, spending money. If you think about it, that was the fall of the Soviet Union, was them trying to expand and be everywhere, and they ran out of fucking money. So now they kind of built back up, built new alliances.
I don't know. I think they're squandering their stuff over there in Ukraine.
You think what?
The Russians, like they presented themselves as like a world power military, but I don't think they've showed it in Ukraine. If America was taking Ukraine, we would have taken it in the first couple of weeks, if not a week, probably.
Yeah, but the thing you're leaving out is that NATO and I mean, it's not
No,
like it's
I'm just
just
talking about
Ukraine
America by
fighting.
itself.
It's a bunch of countries fighting Russia right now. They're sending weapons and stuff like that that
Yeah.
Ukraine had none of. So
Yes, I mean, well, they had some. They've been building it up since they took Crimea and stuff like that. They've had
oh yeah, they built
special
it real
forces
up.
out there.
But let's face it, if they had no backing whatsoever and it was just Ukraine and Russia, it'd been over. And that's a fair
Yes,
assessment
yeah, it
because
probably
Russia's
would.
slaughtering. If you do the research on it, I
No,
think
we
they
gave
said
them the weapons they need.
three or four generations of men have been wiped out in Ukraine.
Well, what saved them in the beginning too was the anti-tank missiles,
Yeah,
javelins, and stuff like that. They were AT-4s and stuff. They were stopping the tanks.
yeah. I think we've already had our foot in that, man. I think it's obvious.
That
Yeah.
war has changed warfare, though. I'll tell you that with the drones.
Well, yeah. Look at Israel and Iran.
Dude,
That's
that Iron
warfare
Dome
now.
thing's cool. How that?
Trump promised to bring us one. I would like to have one.
Yeah, yeah, I'm down for
I'm
that
kind of
too.
pissed we bought them one for ourselves, but that's typically what we do. So,
We need to stop that too. That's why I want Trump. We need to stop giving our money away.
so how do you feel about this? Knowing that Trump spent the most money out of any president in
If it
his,
went to the military, I'm okay with it.
but why?
I don't see how he spent more than Joe Biden.
That's I
Oh,
mean
well,
we
you
could
know what? It was probably because of
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of it had to do with COVID, and that's what I brought up as well. But the fact of the matter is, he did, and I remember he was spending a lot. Cause you do got to spend money to make money, but it doesn't help your debt situation to spend that kind of money.
I think everybody should have to do a term in the military.
And that's what Ramaswamy said, I believe, or public
No,
service.
something because
Yeah,
people need to. Some people are never taught to work, and I think that's a lot of the problem. Everybody just wants easy money. You just got to get after it, and it'll come. That's what I
yeah.
tell these my guys. They come to work. Sometimes I see it on their face. They're just like, "Oh, this is the rest of my life," And it doesn't have to be that way. If you decide that's what it's going to be, then
So
that's
how
what
do
it's
you
going to
feel
be.
about UBI,
UBI.
Universal
Bank.
Basic Income?
Oh,
Sounds like you would hate it.
I mean, I can't say that I'd be mad at somebody sending me a check. And honestly, if I'm paying taxes, they're really just giving me a tax break at that point. Because I mean, I usually pay at least between $8,000 and $10,000 a year to just out of my check.
Yeah.
And then then they get me at the pump, they get me at the store,
No, I hear
they
you.
get me from registering my car.
The reason I bring it up is because I think it's a better system than we have now. Like I think it's a better welfare system than we have now. and I need to correct myself, not UBI, but I would go with like the negative income tax, which is a conservative idea. Um, so you would set the baseline, let's say 100,000 baseline, and you make 80, then you get 20 back, if that makes sense. And I think that would be a good.
20 back though if you don't. But what if you ain't paying that much?
Well, that very well could be, but some people did pay in very much because they benefited from the system. That's how it would pay for itself. But this is also meaning that we're going to cancel our current welfare system. So it would
Oh,
just
if
be
they do
this.
that, honestly, if they did that, there probably would be some people going hungry.
Well, no, not if they did the negative income
No,
tax or
well,
UBI.
the problem is though with the food stamps and things like that, they give you a little bit at a time. They don't give it all to you up front. If you
Well,
give
yeah, it'd be
if you
monthly. It'd be a monthly thing.
oh, okay, because I'm saying if you give lump sums to people that have never had money, they're not gonna know what to do with it, and it'll be gone.
Yeah, but that's personal responsibility, and that's why I think it's
Yeah,
better
but
than the current system.
that's
The
gonna
current
still
system
leave them
makes
without.
you desperate. It makes it where you have to stay poor to stay on it and get supported. Whereas if we went negative income tax or UBI, whatever you want to call it, you could invest in yourself literally, and you can become what you want to become. If you want to be a bum, of course you'll be a bum. But I mean, it's like that already. But if you actually wanted to better yourself, you wouldn't be penalized for benefiting yourself. And that in the current system, you get penalized for bettering yourself. When you get stuck in that little middle zone, like, okay, now I'm moving up a little bit. Oh, I just lost all my benefits and now I can't pay for any. Like, kind of get screwed, right? But you could bypass that if you gave someone a monthly check.
I don't. I just feel like some of them wouldn't work at all though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it would be enough to pay the bills. But like
You know who
again,
would love that? You know who would love that? The cartel. Probably less shit would be getting stolen from people's houses.
yeah, and you're probably right. Like I said, if there's going to be people that want to be bums regardless, and there's nothing we can do about that. But at least give the people that want better a chance, because I think in the current system you don't really do that. You kind of
Well,
set them backwards.
it might help people find other avenues for themselves to make money. Like so, it could create more businesses, which could create more jobs.
No, it definitely would. I mean,
Like small business for sure, it would definitely probably help that.
and
Because I
then
mean,
think about all the
you could just
people.
save it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then think about all the people that are working currently, and then you get that on top of it, and then you're spending money in the economy, and you're getting
Well,
the economy flowing.
when they go to give it a test run, you can sign me up. I'll take
They've
a
done
couple
test
texts.
runs. I forget what states have done test runs. I want to say one state, the only
Well,
stipulation was you couldn't be white. I think it was California. Now that
honestly,
you brought that up earlier, I want
that
to say
must have
like
been
San Francisco or
reparations.
Oakland. I think it was Oakland, maybe. No, it was UBI, but it was just like I forgot for how long. It wasn't permanent, but the stipulation was that you couldn't be white. You had to be someone of color.
Yeah, that's not racist.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fucked up. That's one of the
No,
times I
that's what
do
I'm
think
saying,
that's
dude.
fucked
I
up.
call it reverse racism. It's just it's okay to it's like
It's
Hitler.
not
It's like not
reverse. It's just it's all just racism to me.
it's it yes it is, but it's in their minds. It's just like Hitler or the Nazis or something. They're like, oh, if you're that, you're just automatically murder. It's just it's crazy.
Yep, yep. Well, is there anything else you want to say, man? Anything else you want to get off your chest before we go?
I don't know, man.
Just keeps you in trouble.
We'll definitely have to do this again. I'd like to do maybe some UFO stuff.
Yeah, we can do whatever, whenever, man. That's what I tell everybody. I don't care what we talk about. It's whatever y'all want to
That would
talk
just be
about.
fun.
Yeah.
That or like JFK, like just do a whole conspiracy thing would be cool.
All right, brother. Well, let me know when you're free and we can get that going.